The gates of Sandringham have been locked, the security detail has been doubled, and the atmosphere inside the royal walls is being described by insiders as purely clinical. We are currently witnessing the most significant 48 hours in the history of the modern British monarchy. Following the catastrophic release of 3 million pages of the Epstein files by the U.S. Department of Justice, King Charles has reportedly called an emergency war room summit. This is no longer a family discussion. It is a surgical operation to save the crown. The agenda is clear and brutal: the total and permanent removal of Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson from the royal fold. But the real story that is lighting up social media today isn't just the king's decision. It's the reported furious intervention by Prince William, who has allegedly delivered a chilling ultimatum that has left the palace in shock. To understand the gravity of this moment, you have to look at the scene currently unfolding at the Sandringham estate. For decades, this has been a place of family holidays and private retreat. Today, it has been transformed into a legal bunker. The king's top constitutional advisors and his private secretaries have been summoned to draft what is being called a deed of separation. This isn't just about moving Andrew out of a house. It's about legally and symbolically severing the York family from the institution of the monarchy. In the United States, where public demand for accountability is at an all-time high, this move is being watched with eagle eyes. The American public has long questioned why the Duke of York was allowed to remain in the shadows of the palace for so long, and it seems the pressure from across the Atlantic has finally forced the king's hand. But perhaps the most explosive development from this emergency summit is the role of Prince William. In the eyes of the American public, William is the modern face of the monarchy, and he is reportedly using every ounce of his influence to ensure his uncle never returns to public life. Sources close to the Prince of Wales claim he has told King Charles, in no uncertain terms, that it is him or me. William is reportedly refusing to attend any future state events, including high-profile international receptions. If Prince Andrew is allowed any form of presence, even in a private capacity, William's logic is cold, calculated, and focused on one thing: the future reign of his son, Prince George. He knows that every day Andrew remains in a royal residence, the stain of the Epstein association grows deeper, threatening to destroy the very throne William will one day inherit. This is a generational war, and William is playing for keeps. While the legal battles are being fought at Sandringham, the physical reality is hitting home at the Royal Lodge in Windsor. For the first time, independent journalists and local onlookers have captured footage that the palace never wanted the world to see: unmarked removal vans and professional packing crews entering the grounds of the 30-room mansion. This is no longer a polite request for Andrew to relocate. It is a forced, live eviction. The reports suggest that Sarah Ferguson and Prince Andrew have been given a strict window to vacate the premises and move their personal belongings to Frogmore Cottage. The irony here is staggering, especially for the audience in the U.S. Frogmore was, of course, the home famously taken away from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. To see the Yorks forced into the very house the Sussexes were evicted from is a narrative arc that has set the internet on fire. But there is a crucial difference even at Frogmore. The Yorks will reportedly no longer have taxpayer-funded security. They are being stripped of their protection, their privacy, and their prestige all at once. This brings us to the most viral part of the story currently trending in America: the Harry factor. A massive debate is erupting across social media regarding the perceived double standard within the palace. Critics are asking why it took 3 million pages of the most scandalous files in legal history to finally evict Prince Andrew, when Harry and Meghan were sidelined and stripped of their roles for simply wanting to step back from the royal grind. There are even whispers, though the palace remains silent on this, that Prince Harry reached out to the king via a private phone call from California as the news broke. Some believe it was an olive branch, while others suggest it was a discussion on the legal ramifications of the Epstein files in the U.S. Regardless, the American media is highlighting a massive inconsistency in how the working royals are treated versus those who have actually brought scandal to the door. If King Charles doesn't act with total finality against Andrew now, he risks losing the respect of the international community forever. The summit at Sandringham is also reportedly discussing what experts call the legal nuclear option. This involves the king formally asking Parliament to trigger the Titles Deprivation Act. This would be an unprecedented move in modern times. It wouldn't just stop Andrew from using the His Royal Highness title. It would actually strip him of the Duke of York title entirely. This is a title that has been held by some of the most famous figures in British history, and to see it stripped would be a total and utter humiliation. But with U.S. Congress members and international legal bodies breathing down their necks, the palace knows that a temporary suspension is no longer enough to satisfy a world that wants justice. The files released this week contained far too much vulgar detail and direct evidence for a simple apology to suffice. The public wants a total severance, and it appears they are finally going to get it. As we look at the wreckage of the York family's reputation, we have to consider the collateral damage. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie are reportedly heartbroken and devastated as their parents' past continues to destroy their own futures as representatives of the crown. They are the silent victims of this scandal, forced to watch their childhood home be packed into boxes while the world cheers for their parents' downfall. Rumors are circulating that Beatrice, in particular, is looking for a permanent exit strategy, possibly moving her family to Italy to escape the constant shadow of her father's association with Jeffrey Epstein. The question for the monarchy now is one of survival. King Charles is trying to build a slimmed-down monarchy that is focused on duty, transparency, and service. But as long as the Yorks are linked to the royal name, that goal remains a fantasy. This isn't just a tabloid scandal anymore. It's a global crisis that has reached the highest levels of government. Will the king take the ultimate step and banish his own brother forever? The coming days will provide the answer. But the sight of those moving vans at Royal Lodge tells us that the era of protection is over. The shield of the royal family has been withdrawn, and the Yorks are finally standing alone in the cold. But I want to know what you think about this. Is King Charles doing the right thing by finally evicting the Yorks, or is he only doing it because Prince William forced his hand? And what do you make of the comparison to Harry and Meghan? Is there a double standard at play here? This is a massive conversation that is developing by the minute, and I want to see your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because we are tracking every development from the Sandringham Summit and the eviction at Windsor. This is a story that is far from over, and you won't want to miss our next update. Thanks for watching.